Hello, darling. It turns out President Biden was full of malarkey about taxing the wealthy. A new report shows America's lowest income earners were the most likely to face IRS audits in 2020. Five times more likely than millionaires. The audits came in the form of automated collection notices. Yeah, those are cheap and easy. Poorer people are easy targets. That gave the recipients no realistic way to challenge their alleged debts. So with 87,000 potential new IRS agents, will audits like these become a way of life for everyone? Joining me now to discuss is the Kiltz Family Chair in Fiscal Studies at the Cato Institute. It is Chris Edwards. So, Chris, obviously taxation is theft. Welcome to the showroom. What is most troubling about this for you?
Well, I'm completely against the $80 billion in increased spending for the IRS, particularly all the vast majority that Biden wants to spend on enforcement. Completely the wrong direction to go. There is no big tax cheating crisis. In fact, Americans are very honest on their taxes. The U.S. rate of tax cheating is only half of what it is in Europe. So there's no general crisis or problem here. I differ with you a little bit on the low-income audits. The main reason why the IRS audits at the bottom end is because we run this giant $70 billion welfare program called the Earned Income Tax Credit through the tax code. And for years, there has been a 25% fraud and error rate in this low-income EITC. So I think it's reasonable, actually, to audit that because a lot of people are cheating and taking this EITC, and they're not really eligible for it.
All right. So what other programs have been exploited post-pandemic? And should the IRS be going after people who took loans that maybe they fudged the applications for?
Well, that's been a huge problem as well, and all those COVID-related programs have overwhelmed the IRS, which is why they only answer the phone about 10% of the time you call. It's a really giant screw-up going on at the IRS. Congress keeps making the code so complicated, it's impossible for the IRS to administer. So that, members of Congress are hypocrites. They say, oh, the IRS doesn't get enough funding, and then they keep raising tax rates and making the tax code way more complicated, which raises compliance costs for the private sector. People don't understand the code, and they submit the wrong amount of money to the IRS, and the IRS doesn't have the resources to audit all these fancy energy tax credits and electric vehicle tax credits and all these things that Congress keeps passing. So simplify the code, lower tax rates, and the IRS will have plenty of money to administer the code, and people will be more honest if the code is simpler.
Of course they will. I mean, the rationalists have been lobbying for simplifying the code in a number of ways for as long as we've been a country, for as long as the federal government has been collecting taxes, but no one will listen to it. But you're absolutely right. There are these sweetheart packages that, nominally will make the world a better place, but don't really do anything. So let me ask you, because we are about to creep into tax season once again, if my gas vehicle identifies as an electric vehicle, can I claim that?
Hey, look, I think there's going to be a huge amount of fraud and cheating around all these dozens of new fancy energy tax credits Biden and the Democrats have passed into law. That's the real crisis in the tax code. I think Republicans in the House are doing the right thing. They're saying, hey, look, more money for customer service so that at least the IRS will answer the phone when you have a question, and maybe more money for computers and IT at the IRS, but no more money for enforcement. The reason is because there's a huge trade-off there. The more enforcing there is, the less freedom we have. There's a civil liberties trade-off and a compliance cost trade-off. That's why more enforcement is not a good idea.
Yeah, could you imagine if you called Target and they called you names and came to your house and punched you in the face every time you had an issue? But you bring up one of the best points, is there's a big difference between customer service. People like customer service. They like a positive experience, and enforcement. People don't like to be forced to give their money away at the end of a gun. Chris, thank you so much.
And the thing that the IRS, people forget that the IRS often gets everything wrong. They chase after people, and in fact, they calculate the taxes wrong. So that's the problem.
I am not
Thanks,
Wesley
Kennedy.
Snipes. Chris, always good to talk to you. Thank you so much.